Hi, my name is Gerry Leone. I'm a contributing editor to Trains.com. I was a contributing editor to Model Railroader Video Plus. My dad actually had a Leone layout in the basement of our two-flat in Chicago. Retrospectively, it was not a very good layout, and he wasn't into it enough to really devote the time to it. So I was never really interested in it a whole lot. When I was about 10 or 12, I know he took all of this gorgeous Leone stuff to a hobby store and wound up by trading it in for a Tyco starter set. All of this Leone stuff. And he built a layout in our house, and again, I was just, it kind of went past me. I was into some other stuff at the time. So I didn't get into model railroading until I was like 28 or 29. I got into model railroading in the late 70s and built a layout, the Bona Vista 1 and 2, up in the attic of our South Minneapolis house. But when we moved to a house that had no basement and no spare room. So all the model railroading stuff got packed away. But I was still in love with the hobby to the point where I kept my subscription to Model Railroader magazine through 20 years of not doing any model railroading. And in fact, I didn't even open the issues. I kept them in the poly bags and put them in a box. In 1999, we decided to move again, or we decided to build a new house that had a basement in it. And it was like Christmas, opening up those boxes and going through literally 20 years of Model Railroader magazine and watching the evolution of DCC, watching Floquil go away, watching Poly S paint go away, watching Poly scale paint come into being. And as soon as we had that house with the basement, I started building what would be the Bona Vista 3. The Bona Vista name is something that's just followed me around for a while. I had an apartment when I was in grad school that was a garden apartment, which the windows looked up on the bumpers of the cars that were parked out. You know, so it was a basement, basically, apartment. And I always thought that if Buena Vista meant good view, Bona Vista meant lousy view. So I liked the name Bona Vista. I started calling the apartment Bona Vista. I had a little recording studio that I called Bona Vista. And when the railroads started getting built, I figured, well, I got the Bona Vista name. I might as well just use that for the trains. And I was hesitant to change it after that because I started writing articles and people started associating that name with my name. I was a subscriber to Model Railroader Video Plus years before I was a contributor to Model Railroader Video Plus. I tend to be a sponge for information, and I like getting a lot of input for various ways of doing the same type of thing, scenery and that kind of stuff. I like to hear how other modelers are doing their scenery, and then kind of pick and choose the method that was best for me. Trains.com and before that, Model Railroader Video Plus had just a plethora of videos on doing things and how to do things and the right way to do things, which would save you a lot of time. The variety of it, from DCC to scenery to bench work to operations, I just think is great because it gives you a whole a rainbow of options for this hobby, for whatever you're interested in. You know, one of the big benefits of being a Trains.com unlimited subscriber is that not only do you get to see the videos, of which there's something like 3,000, but you get full access to the magazine archives, all 5 of the train magazines that Kalmbach Media does, all the way back to their first issue. So you can kind of go through those things and kind of see the history or look for techniques that were done in the past. And there's just a wealth of information that you can get that pretty much you don't even have to build a layout. You can just spend your time watching it. and live events, live streaming events. We were at TrainFest this year and back in 2019, and it's just fun to just kind of see the show happening as it was happening. Not only do you get to see me a lot on videos, but there's a lot of other better benefits of being a Trains.com Unlimited subscriber. Being a Trains.com Unlimited member has a lot of benefits. And if you don't believe me for an unlimited membership, try the 30-day trial, because that'll give you a great taste of everything you can get from Trains.com. Thank you.